We are live. Good morning. Caught you slipping. Oh, you gotta unmute. See, you on mute. You gotta unmute.
Whoops, sorry. Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday, Queen. My bad. But yes, I did get caught slipping, but it's all good.
Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday, everybody. I haven't even took a sip of my coffee yet, and I'm already at the giggles. Look,
Girl.
it's already starting. It's already starting. It's gonna be a very interesting live. Cheers, Queen. Cheers. Here we go.
Yes. Need that caffeine. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Good morning, Bossy.
Yes.
Good morning, Aziz. Grand
The
Rising.
Kings are on the live this morning. Good morning,
Let's go,
hubby.
let's go.
Good morning, Big Fish. Yes, yes. This is going to be a very lively Tuesday
Hey.
in my mind.
In your mind, in my mind anyway.
Yes, yes. They not ready for all these good gems.
They not
About to
ready.
drop on them.
No, they not ready for this tea, Queen. They not ready.
What is happening here? Let's see, it's 8:07. Give people a little bit more time. You want to give them 2 more minutes?
Yeah, let's give them 1 more minute.
You're so nice.
2 seconds. Let me do something with Quincy real quick.
He said, I'm on the live too. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all are having a beautiful Tuesday morning.
Ooh, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, I forget that I'm hosting this morning.
Yes, Queen.
Did we just talk about this last night?
We did.
All right, that's all right. Well, it is 8:08. If they ain't here yet, they're going to have to catch up because the Queen's got things to do. So we about to kick this thing off. You ready, C?
Yes, Queen, I'm ready.
Yes. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, family. Welcome back to our Tips and Tea Live. I'm your host, Shantella, and I'm joined with my amazing, beautiful co-host, Mr. Teacher Booker. Now, every Tuesday we come together, we try to sip some tea, whether it's tea, coffee, energy drinks, whatever you got, basically. And we try to come in, we try to drop some tips, some gems, some game to help protect your financial crown. So today's topic, we are literally talking about protecting your crown because it's just not just about building credit, it's about keeping it safe. So we've done a whole series on the foundation, right? Repairing your foundation, building up your credit, because that's the first step in your financial journey, right? But if you are ready to protect your crown, please drop some crowns in the chat. Drop some crowns in the chat if you are ready to protect your crown and keep leveling up, everybody. Good morning, Vivian. Good
Good
morning. Good
morning, Miss
morning.
Vivian. How you doing, Queen? And yes, and in the past, we have definitely talked about some tips and different things as far as protecting your credit. We've discussed good habits and bad habits. We have definitely discussed, paying on time, keeping your balances low, avoiding unnecessary inquiries, and checking your reports quarterly. Those habits are the foundation. And once your crown is polished, you definitely have to protect it because one slip, one fraudulent mistake can definitely knock you off. So, out of all the tips that we have provided as far as paying on time, low credit balances, which one is working for you guys? Or which ones have you felt have been most beneficial to you? Drop it in the chat for us.
Yeah, I'm nosy. I want to see.
Right, honey. We want to see what you've been doing.
Can I use it too? Look,
Okay. Yes,
which one of those
ma'am.
habits have you been practicing that's got you covered? What's working? What's working? What's not working?
I've been
Drop
working
it.
on keeping my credit card utilization low, and it's definitely been working for me. What about you?
I've just been diligent about making sure my bills are set up on the auto pays because my mind is not what it
That
used to
part.
be. And then I also put like a calendar reminder on my calendar to go in and just even check, especially if I know if I've been spending a lot of money, been running some things
Mm-hmm.
up on the credit card because sometimes we're traveling, sometimes I had to make some purchases for the house or for the business. So I'll just set a reminder before my statement date is coming up to go in and check it to make sure I'm not
Gotcha.
high on my utilization too. But also the monitoring service we have, it kind of tracks all that too. So just keeping, I've been like diligent about the utilization that's been showing up on my accounts and just making sure I'm checking in on it, paying it down if I need to.
Yes, Queen, you've been practicing what you preach, huh?
Yeah, just a little bit,
Just a little
Can't just talk
bit.
about it, I gotta be about it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
I wish we can play walk it like I talk it. Walk it like
Mm.
I talk it. And y'all said I had coffee this morning.
Hey, you had your coffee. I had my Red Bull. I got my wings. I'm ready to fly.
You ready? You ready? You ready? Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Steve. Thank you for joining Tips and Tea this morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so I don't see anything in the chat yet, but people still waking up, so we're trying to get it together. Good morning, Jennifer. So we're just gonna dive right in.
Good morning, Queen.
So today we're talking about protecting the crown and just diving a little bit deeper into that whole buy now, pay later aspect of it.
Mm.
Is it good? Is it bad? I think it can be both. It just depends on the person. But really, the buy now, pay later, that's the afterpays, the Klarna, the Affirms, the Sezzle. It looks easy, you make 4 payments, no problem. But, it's still debt, right? This is still debt in
Mm.
disguise. So, the buy now, pay later is that like your ex should have left alone, fun in the moment, but you end up paying for it way longer than you expected. So
Yes.
you gotta watch how you use it. It's still a tool, right? Money is a tool. Credit cards are a tool. These loans, the BNPLs, these are tools. It's just depending on how you're using them. If you're not using them right, it can hurt you.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
So yeah.
Definitely got to be
Not the ex.
smart. Definitely got to think about it. And the real kicker is, buy now, pay laters, they can hurt you, more than people actually even realize. Multiple buy now, pay later account, hidden debt, just like Chantella said, it's still debt. Missed payment, late fees, score drop, it doesn't, as far as I know, like the buy now, pay laters, do they actually even help build your score? Because the ones that I'm aware of, I know they help you as far as making payments, but you know, it can affect your score negatively, but it doesn't help to raise your score, does it?
I do believe it depends on the program.
Well,
The
I'm
big
talking
one,
about like Klarna and Afterpay. Because
yeah, I have to check
a
on
lot
those.
of people use Klarna and Afterpay. Now I know like a buy now, pay later car lot, something like that. Yes, of course, that's a
Hmm.
different story. But I'm just talking about Klarna and Afterpay. But anywho, you know, they're still lenders. They're still helping you, so it still is accumulating debt.
That's true. So if anyone knows, drop in the chat if you ever used Klarna before or Afterpay. Do you know if it helps your credit? That's a good question for our live audience because that one I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
they actually help
I
build your
don't know
credit.
that either, right? So we need some audience engagements. We need some help this morning, guys.
Hmm. Repeat, repeat. If you ever use Klarna or Afterpay,
Yes.
does it
But I
help
mean, you know,
also
if
build
you
your
are,
credit?
oh, I'm sorry, Queen, what'd you say?
I was just asking again, does it help build your credit if you use it?
Yeah, Crystal Lachey said, I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't help build your credit, but it can help hurt your credit. So keep
Yeah,
that in mind. And, you know, just looking at your credit report and everything like that, just make sure that you are just doing your due diligence. We can't stress enough to just check it, check it, check it, and make sure that you're not making late payments. And if you are going to use the afterpays and Klarnas, be strategic about it. You know, like Chantella said, make sure that you have things set up on auto pay. Make sure that if you do have it set on auto pay, that you have the money on the card for the auto pay, those things, you know. So we just want to make sure that we're using it smart.
absolutely. Because I don't know. I feel like the buy now, pay laters. If you just gonna run it up, you ready to go on vacation, and you like, I'm about to go live my best life on Sheen,
Mm-mm.
or, or just you just buying up a bunch of clothes and things. This can lead to big debt, right? But I don't know. I feel like if you're using it as an investment, right, to help better your financial situation. So like using the BNPLs to pay for credit repair, right? We've
Mm-hmm.
had clients they just was like, I don't want to keep putting this off. I know if I
Right.
keep putting off, I'm never going to get started. So I'm talking to you now. I love what your program does. I'm going to use this to go ahead and get started in my credit repair journey. I've had clients do that. Have you had clients get started with like their credit journey or investing in a business
Yes,
before?
ma'am.
Yeah, so
Yes,
something like
ma'am.
that where it turns around and it's going to eventually make you money or save you money. I'm all for it. I'm all for using these tools to definitely do that. But then you just gotta make sure you're staying on top of it, like C said, setting up your auto pays, right? Because it's breaking it up into smaller payments for you. And usually you can get it paid off in a shorter term. So it doesn't stretch it out for too long, especially if this is like something where you just spend like a couple $100s, right? Versus thousands or tens of thousands where that creates 3 4 some year terms in a lot of
Right.
cases. But just making sure you're watching that, don't miss any payments because then you're gonna be hit with late fees and penalties. you know it has fewer consumer protections. I know, like it's harder
Mhm.
to dispute something like that if you end up doing some lates or you need to get some refunds. Sometimes it's a little bit harder where you're working with certain vendors and you use the afterpay type of setup,
Right.
trying to get a refund. So it's just extra steps that you're taking. But definitely if you use the tool right, it can be help you
Right.
be flexible.
Yes.
Some of them they have interest-free installments, right? You just pay like an upfront fee for using the service. So it just depends. It can really work to your benefit. It's all about how you're using it.
Yes. All about how you use it. I mean, and you don't want to run into a situation where you just have multiple, like two or three Klarnas, two or three afterpays, because those buy now pay later, honey, will have you looking looking at your credit report like weekend calories, like where did they come from? You know,
Like,
like
ooh, what is
I mean,
that?
because I have found myself in a situation like that when I was first introduced to Klarna and Afterpay, because it was awesome. I'm like, oh, I don't have to pay for this up front. I could just break this up. And then I'm like, I got four Klarnas and an Afterpay. What's going on? So
Absolutely.
be disciplined. It's okay. You don't have to shop all the time. You don't.
Yeah. Who's guilty of hitting that Klarna button, that Afterpay button, especially when you ain't need to? did it? Who did? Put your go ahead, drop it in the chat. We ain't gonna judge you. We just gonna
Drop it in the
laugh with
chat.
you.
Drop it.
Who
Drop
did
it.
it?
And
I
honey,
had
I
to talk to
have
my daughter
definitely,
about it.
definitely done it.
Yeah, talk to your kids too about these Klarnas, these Afterpays, you know, these accounts, because it's coming up now when they're shopping on these apps, especially like
Mm-hmm.
Klarna. My daughter was like getting ready to go on this trip, and she was like, "Oh, I should just go ahead and use this." I'm like, "Man, first of all, you have the money to pay for it. So why are you going to pay extra fees? You paying out extra money just to use this feature when you have the money in your account to pay for this." She said, "Yeah, but I can keep that money and I can spend this money." You still spending up all the money and now you're paying extra. This is extra money that
Exactly.
you're paying. So if you don't need to
Exactly.
use it,
Don't.
just because it's there, you don't have to go that route. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Use it for emergencies or, I've even seen, when I'm ordering my groceries, you can do a grocery order through Klarna or Afterpay. I was shocked when I saw that. But I mean, in today's economy, I mean, I definitely understand because I mean, groceries are super expensive.
Yeah, sometimes we need to use the Klarna in order for it to make us the next paycheck. We need food in the
Yes,
house, need food in the house, and that Klarna come up. That's a great resource until you get paid the next cycle. Sometimes it just that check fall funny.
it
So
does.
again,
Yes.
if it's being used as a tool and not just, oh, these shoes is real cute,
Mm-hmm.
but you got 5 pairs of shoes in the closet the same color.
That part.
Do you
Yes.
really need it? Do we
Make it
need
work for you, not against you.
it? Absolutely. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Dr. Katrina, Anita.
Good morning, Queens. Happy
Welcome to
Tips and
the
Tea
live.
Tuesday.
I guess we got some pretty good budgeters in the comments because they don't use the Klarna. Oh well, Monica says she said me. She's used it before. Monica, since
Yes,
you've used
ma'am.
it before, do you know does it help you build credit? We know Crystal said no, some accounts, but have you ran across one that helps build up your credit as well? If you know, let us know. Drop it in the chat.
Right. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, like the Klarna and Afterpays and Sezzles, they can affect you badly if they don't help you positively. If you're making your payments on time and in full.
Yeah. So what's some other score killers out there?
That part. Yes. They bait you in. Oh, you can break this up into so many payments. We can do this, we can do that. Miss one payment.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right, see what else you got for us this morning.
Uh, let's see here. So we talked about good habits. Let's see here. The truth is, once you do get your score where you want it to be, then, once you get to that 750 club, 800 club, then the scammers kind of will put a target on your back. And you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. Fraud on your accounts, you definitely want to make sure you're doing your due diligence to check and make sure you don't have anything on there that you're not aware of. Something
Mm-hmm.
that you didn't open, any weird charges, collections, things like that. So you want to make sure that you are definitely checking, because when you're in the building phase, you don't really have to worry about the scammers. But when you get up there, then people want your credit because they want what you have worked for. Scammers, they don't sleep. They be applying for credit cards and trips and doing things while you sleeping
Yeah, they do.
up all night. Yes, working on your or using your credit that you worked on.
Yes. Monica responded, no, I use Afterpay. Okay. So yeah, Afterpay
Oh,
doesn't do
okay.
it. I'm gonna have to do some research on that
Yeah,
one.
definitely don't think they do.
See if there's more
Yeah,
help.
that might be something good to let me see if I can Google it real quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the meantime, while she's looking that up, like we're talking about with the scammers being out there, because they love your 750 plus scores. They see you shine and they say, "That's my crown now," and they try to steal it, right? So again, this live is about also protecting your crown when making sure you're staying on task, avoiding late payments, avoiding closing those oldest accounts because that's helping you. Payment history is such a big part of your credit score. We talked about so far the buy now, pay laters, how it can help you or it can hurt you because if you're using it as a tool to like pay for fixing your credit or investing in a business opportunity, that's a great way to utilize that. But if you're just using it to go buy some things you don't need, you know, overspending, then that can really hurt you too as well. So, some of the things we also want to help you with is figuring out monitoring. I talked about earlier how I use my monitoring service through NoPay to help me keep track of my utilization and showing up on my credit cards and make sure that I'm not going over a certain percentage because having high utilization on your credit accounts can hurt your scores because a lot of the lenders they want to see that you know how to be responsible, you know how to manage money. So keeping your utilization under 30% across your accounts, that's a great way to show that you're credit responsible. So I utilize a credit monitoring service through Nove. It also offers additional protection. We have $1 million in fraud insurance protection. So if something does happen, I'm covered on that aspect, right? So these things I feel like are just non-negotiables, especially with everything that's going on out there. They texting you, they
Yes.
emailing you, the scammers. They in your social media, they hacking your Facebook pages, your IG pages, and you getting message from your auntie thinking that's her, and you supposed to be supporting somebody's football, getting football uniforms, and it's
That
a scammer.
part.
So you just have to
Yes.
be kind of mindful and just watch certain things like that because a lot of the monitoring services now they also include protecting your social media accounts. It's just not about your credit. It's going across all platforms, right? But if you know someone,
That's
yeah, if
awesome.
you know someone who's had their identity stolen and needs help with getting their credit improved, let us know in the chat. We can definitely reach out to them or just send them our information, and we'll love to just be able to see how we can help them get back on track. Right? I've been a victim of identity theft. Happened to me actually quite a few times. Yeah,
Really?
so even in here on Facebook, so it happened a long time ago, back when I was in college. Someone stole, like hacked my. This is when I had TCF Bank. If anybody went to NIU, Northern Illinois University, we used to have a TCF on campus, right? So it was easier to kind of like deposit your money, get cash if you just use that bank. So I had a TCF account and somebody hacked my TCF account, stole money. Eventually the bank gave me back my money though. So I just had to report
Mhm.
fraud on it. But you have to watch things like that too, even with the banks. Like if you wait so long without, you know, saying that this was fraud on your account, they won't refund your money. They won't put that money back in your account. I think you only have a certain amount of time before they're like, no, you didn't report it within a certain window. So check with your bank
Mm.
to see what something like that is. Set up those alerts. Set up those alerts on your accounts, everybody, so you see what things are hitting your accounts. What bills are coming out, what payments. We talked about this a couple lives ago about setting up those
Yes.
notifications. So yeah, I got hit there, and then a few times on Facebook, somebody hacked my Facebook account, started their own Facebook page with my profile picture, was sending people messages.
Yeah.
That's happened a couple times. So
I've had that happen before too.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. The person that hacked my Facebook, they were sending friend requests to my friends. I thought
Mhm.
that was weird. Crazy. But it all makes sense because they're sending friend requests to my friends so they can try to get money from my friends.
Mhm.
But we got you covered with Nove. That's where we come in. If you are a DIY type of person, our AI driven credit dispute software doesn't just help you restore credit, it also helps to give you identity theft protection and that full credit monitoring that Shantella was talking about, and the $1 million fraud insurance. So if you're not just repairing it, you're protecting it and keeping it safe. We're giving you all the tools and giving you all the checks and balances.
Absolutely.
Yes,
They come and
ma'am.
put me in the comments. They said
Because
TCF is a throwback bank.
yes, I saw that in there. She did. She said TCF is a throwback bank.
Shout out to my
Because
people
trust
in
me,
Illinois. Hey y'all. Hey y'all, the
oh hey,
Chicago
Illinois
family.
folks, hey.
Yeah, that was a real throwback. I had TCF for a long time, but we used to talk about TCF, but they was actually paying out some of the highest interest amongst the banks back then. Like they were at like at one point almost
Mm.
2% back in the day when they was paying out on the savings account. Everybody had like Chase and Bank of America and PNC, but they wasn't even touching TCF on the interest rate. That was the crazy part. Yes, yes. Vicky said that has happened to me as
That
well.
has happened to me as
Yeah,
well. Hacker said that I was fundraising. Stop it.
that's crazy. Yeah, so just be careful, everyone. If you don't have a monitoring service, then you need to make sure you're staying on top of it and making sure you're checking your accounts, not just on like a monthly basis. This is something that you need to go in weekly and just making sure everything
Hmm.
is, set up properly with your accounts and double checking your bank statements, checking your credit card accounts, things like that. Just staying on top of it. At least make sure your notifications are set up, right? A lot
Yes.
of cases with some of these banks and these credit card companies, some of the credit card companies offer monitoring themselves. So, yeah,
They
look
do.
into if you have a credit card, look into see what features it has that you haven't even activated, right? That you can use for free as a part of your being a customer with that company, right? So look into your benefits, people. Let's use them.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am. And
use
some
it.
of them will even, send you notifications when you make a purchase. So keep up with that stuff.
I think my credit card company be knowing me better than I do because it'd be like, this don't seem like you. Is this you?
Right. That part. That part. Listen, I had a situation where I had to call my bank to unlock my card so I could make a purchase. They let me make that purchase. Then after that, they locked my card, and my card was locked for the whole weekend.
hmm Like she don't be rolling out, buying up laptops and stuff. What's this? What's going on here?
Exactly.
What's she doing? When your bank seen you the eyeballs. Is this you?
Yeah, the bank was like, this is not like her. What is she doing making this purchase out of the state? Yes. Yes. So it's okay. We got it. We got it together.
Yep. So if you need to,
Had to talk to the bank. Everything's good.
yep, yep. Well, everybody, just to recap a little bit here, we're talking about building strong credit habits, being mindful, being cute, being very demure about buy now, pay laters.
Being very demure.
Demure about it, use it as a tool. Use it for what it's meant for,
Yes.
right? So protect your crown against scammers as well. Set up your notifications on your accounts, use a credit monitoring service, enroll in some fraud insurance protection, especially if you are a person that is making a lot of purchases online. That might be an added
Mhm.
benefit for you, right? Double check
Yeah.
to see what protections are in place against your accounts with your existing card companies, with your existing bank accounts, right? This is information you want to know, especially if the majority of your purchases are happening online. You even have to be careful of the gift cards you're buying in the grocery stores now.
Mm.
That's another way I got scammed. I bought a gift card.
For the gift cards.
I think it was Ulta or Sephora or something like that. It was either Ulta or Sephora. I bought it out of
Mhm.
a grocery store as a gift to someone. I was just picking up a card. Was like, okay, I'll grab a gift card, and sent the card to my friend, and she was like, ain't no money on this card. And I went and I always put like the little receipt in there showing that it was activated, just in case something does happen, they have the whole receipt that they can follow up with. So I have like that little piece in there, but I had my original receipt. So she
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, there's nothing on here." And then she heard from someone else that people have been putting fraudulent cards in there into the grocery stores and then stealing people's money that way. So I had to reach out. Yeah,
What?
I had to reach out to Jewel, it's the store I bought it from, and let them know
Uh-huh.
that, yeah, it never got loaded on there. And they even said they had issues with it. It took like over a month for me to get refunded back that money. Going back and forth with them.
That's
I had to
crazy.
send emails. I had to send the original purchase receipt. So it's a whole task. Yeah, it's out there. Can't even get
That's
right out the store.
crazy.
Sad.
That's crazy. Like, who would even think about that? Let me go put these dummy cards in the store, and somebody's going to purchase them and I'm going to get some money. Like, who thinks like that?
I mean, yeah, it
Scammers.
happens. For a while, you had to be careful about going to pay for your gas at the gas pump because they was putting the card skimmers on there, right, and reading your card
Yeah.
information at ATM. So it had people nervous, especially the ATMs that sit outside. You know,
Yes.
out there.
I do remember
Mhm.
that. That's crazy. But whether it's our AI driven credit repair software or our referral partner Credit Likes, we definitely have you covered with the credit monitoring, the fraud insurance, and identity theft protection. And again, we just want to stress, when you're in the building stage, you may not have those issues, but once you get your credit up to a certain level, then you definitely might start having those issues. So we just want to be able to provide options and tools to help you, to protect you, and to make sure that you are keeping your crown polished. And don't forget about our special giveaway for all of our Tips and Tea audience. We have $1,000 in grocery savings and restaurant savings available because protecting your crown is important, and we want to make sure that we're helping you save your coins.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so if you got some values today, everybody, please type "protect my crown" in the comments. Tag some friends, tag at least 3 friends, right, who need this information so they can come back and watch the replay. For those who are watching this live, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. If you are watching the replay, please drop a 2. But we're going to open it up to any questions. Anyone has any questions about the buy now, pay later or credit monitoring services, or you just want to share, your experience?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Do we have any questions? Oh, but when I did look that information up about Klarna, it did say that it does have the potential for positive impact on with financing.
Okay.
But what I read, to me, it seems like it does have the potential for positive, but it's a bigger possibility for it to impact you negatively, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah. It takes longer for you to build your credit. It doesn't take long for you to mess it up.
That part. That part.
So yes, yes. Protect my crown. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you everyone for dropping the ones in the chat and joining the live this morning. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we definitely appreciate you guys' support and loyalty.
Yes, yes. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Yep. Because it even says right here, the Associated Press says that buy now, pay laters, they really recommend that you reserving how you're using those buy now, pay laters accounts. Don't do impulse buys. Really using it and making sure you're budgeting, and make sure you're managing your installments effectively, making planned purchases. Yeah.
Yes,
Staying on
ma'am.
top of
Because
it, everybody.
those little amounts, they do add up. I'm sorry,
All
what you
right,
say,
all right.
Queen?
So, no, I was just saying that we don't have any questions in the chat. So, the queens got things
We got
to
things
do.
to do.
It's a very busy day today. So, C and I, unfortunately, we have to jump off, but we just want to say thank you again, everybody, for joining our Tips and Tea Live this morning. If you need more information about how to use the buy now, pay laters as a tool and not just to go run it up on some of these clothing sites. Let us know. We'll definitely help you get you on track. We do have a financial needs analysis that we can walk you through to see where
Yeah.
you might need some assistance with and how our services here can help you with each part of that journey. Right. So again, beware of scammers. Monitor your
Yes, and
credit.
beware of the multiple buy here, pay here. Don't have 15 Klarnas and Afterpays at one time, please, and thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes. Love it, love it. All right, everyone. Thank you again. And don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to follow. Share, share, share.
Thank you, guys.
Check us out on YouTube at Tips and Tricks
Yes,
Live.
yes, ma'am.
All right.
Like, share, and subscribe. Have a blessed rest of your
All
week.
right. See you all next Tuesday.